Today I've come to Rees Magos Fort, quite a huge fort on one of the corners of Goa. Back in the day it was operated by the Portuguese Army and it was used as a defence fortress. Then it was a prison and then a hospital. So it's been through many different changes. Just to think what kind of battles and liberation that took place here by the Portuguese with the Indians trying to take over it. Yeah, it's just views all around here. Not only cannons in different directions, but lots of different lookouts where you can just see a 360 degrees of the fortress. So it was properly defensive. Hello, 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 hello.
It just felt like being in a Spanish villa. The brickwork, wonderful staircases, architecture and buildings all just looked like I was transported to a plush, quaint Spanish little town, as they're doing a lot of extensive restoration work at the moment. The views are superb with sights in all directions to see which way the enemy was coming from. This deck has had a lot of restoration work on it as the floor had sunken so much due to 31 cannons sitting on it facing out to sea. A cool sneaky defensive tactic I liked in the fort was called the death hole. For when the enemy burst through the fort gates, they were met with either hot oil or shot at from above. You would never have saw it coming. This is the Armory. During the freedom movement, this cell was used for solitary confinement for prisoners. It's quite a large space though for one prisoner, unless, I don't know, multiple prisoners were placed in here. Up next was a much smaller cell for solitary confinement. However, back when it was a jail, the outside world was not viewable. It was all bricked up, so it would have been rather lonely in here, and pretty cramped too. The staircases, however, provide some really cool pictures.
So today I have come to the Museum of Goa. I want to get a little bit more cultural while I'm here and look at a bit of art and installations and sculptures. And one of the first things that have caught my eye is, if you know the fruit jackfruit, well, this is one of the roots of a jackfruit tree. This is ginormous. Look at that. Crazy. I never would have even imagined them growing that big, but this is a root, and inside there was all these weird kind of pointy edges. It's the root of a jackfruit tree and the thorns of a trifala tree. I don't know what the hell that is, but yeah, it looks really cool inside.
There was certainly lots to see here though. Huge colourful paintings, photographs and statues, colourful ceramic model things, audio presentations on the artists of the museum, then lots of outside colourful displays of, well, quite weird shaped objects, but you know, that's art, I suppose.
Is this not the scariest looking woman you've ever seen? What the hell is that? That is one ginormous, scary... Can I zoom in on her? I can't zoom in on her, not front way. But look at her face, look, she's massive.
There's more art inside, like scary wooden headed things with sweet corn for a body, I don't know, to lots more detailed colourful paintings showing all kinds of Indian people from different manual labour jobs.
This is an anchor, you know, from a boat or a ship. It's been lying at the bottom of the ocean for a couple of years, and now we've got all these incredible oyster shells that have completely covered it. You couldn't even tell that it's an anchor anymore.
Next up was some huge chili peppers made out of fabric. Don't know why, but they really caught my eye. I just had to have a picture with them. Ah, my friends. The next room was dedicated to what local school children have made in the area, like these cool t-shirts. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep a balance, you have to keep moving. Very wise. Even these pulley card things as if they were made from Art Attack. How lovely.
So we just finished the little museum tour. I quite liked it. I'm not really one for looking at different pieces of art because it does get boring after a while and you think, why is that art? I could have done better myself. I actually found some quite interesting sculptures. I mean, a lot of it is just done by 2 or 3 artists of the kind of local area. When in another country, you've always got to try the local cuisine. Oh yeah.
It's got to be done though, hasn't it? And wow, I'm glad I did. I couldn't believe the prices. It was so cheap. A few pounds for a whole bucket of chicken.
Oh yeah. Yummy, yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Bottoms up. Pretty good. Not bad for about £1. Do you want to know what it feels like to be a tourist? Have a look. I've come to a beach where everyone around me is not a tourist, but an Indian. I really know what it feels like to be a foreigner. There is something I've never understood about Indians, why they always go into the sea with their clothes on. I don't know if it's a case whether they need to wash their clothes at the same time, but I have no idea why you want to go into the sea with your clothes constantly. You're just going to be wet all the time. It's like, take your clothes off. Today we have come to Old Goa. Some of the oldest temples and churches in Goa are actually here. A lot of Catholics and Christians come here because quite a famous Roman Catholic missionary, what's his name, St. Francis Xavier. He did quite a lot of work back in the 1500s. He did a lot of work in Goa, and his remains, his corpse, is actually in one of the churches here, and every single 10 years they open up his casket for the public to see, and apparently after 400 years so far, 400 or 500 years, it hasn't really deteriorated. Amazingly, yeah, it's all intact still, so people every single 10 years they open up the casket, floods of people come in and actually try and you know, get a glimpse of his body, because it's quite like an icon in like the Catholic and Christian people. Bit of a religious area around here. Yeah, we're going to go and look at some cool architecture. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I help you? This building right behind me is the oldest church in Goa, under the World Heritage Site, under the UNESCO. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal in the church world, and this is where the remains of St. Francis Xavier actually is. His corpse is somewhere in there. I'm trying to have a look in there. I won't be able to see the corpse because I said every single 10 years it's shown to the public. The last time was in 2014, I think, so the next one will be 2024. So if you're excited for that, book your tickets for then. This is the big old church where everyone likes to take pictures in front of. I mean, I don't really know anything about churches and the Vatican and cathedral, whatever, anything. I don't really know much about it. Apparently this is a big deal for all you church, temple, cathedral lovers out there. There you go. So I just entered one cathedral, went to look at the pilgrimage of faith. Lots to do with the history of all the different popes of the Vaticans and stuff. All goes over my head. But anyway, so I paid 20 rupees to get in, which is about 20p. I walked around for about 2 minutes, and then all of a sudden a lady comes up to me and says, "Oh, excuse me, we're closing for lunch." I said, "What? I've just paid a ticket to come in." She said, yeah, we have lunch now. So I said, well, why the hell did the lady sell me a ticket to come in here if you're closing? And she didn't give me an answer, probably didn't understand what I was saying, but yeah, so I've got to wait an hour for lunch to finish so I can go back in there. Bloody hell, no common sense, these people. I don't know where his remains are. I don't know if they're in there or somewhere over there, but people are very excited around here. No, I tell a lie, he's in there. This is very weird, trying to take a video of a dead person. I don't know, is that him? I don't really have any clue what's going on here. I don't know if his corpse was actually there, or when it said it was a relic, what was a relic? I'm not quite sure. I don't know. He could be there. So any knowledgeable people out there, yeah, let us know if that was actually it and that got your rocks and socks off and stuff. I don't know.
There were pictures provided to showcase, I guess, what he still looks like to this day. Amazing, he's not just, you know, a skeleton by now. And it shows his coffin as well. Looks quite a small one.
And here we've got all the kind of rubble remains of what used to be the Augustinian convent. I'm guessing a very large building, temple of some sort was here. I don't know if they're doing kind of renovation works, because yeah, there's a lot of materials and just brickwork and just rubbish everywhere really. And then the main thing in the distance, which I think is quite cool, that building, that tall tower, that's the St. Augustine's Tower, I believe. Let me just quickly look on my Google Maps. St. Augustine Tower. That's the remains of a church. It used to be a much more bigger church, but it's just pretty much a wall left. It's quite incredible that it's still standing. I don't know when it was built or how long that it's been left in this condition for. I just find it quite quite interesting that it's still standing. Let me go show you the rest of it. And there you go, there it is. It looks better from the other side. It's quite incredible. Surely it just must take, just needs one huge gust of wind to blow that down. Apparently not. But yeah, let me show you the other side. Here you got some different windows or doors up there. But yeah, I just find it quite interesting that it's still standing. Just imagine that, you know, it would have came out over here, but now there's nothing there, obviously. So now I'm going to actually try and go back to that temple that I was kicked out of because some people want to go on a lunch hour. I've kind of done everything really around here. As I say, like, I'm not really into temples, churches, cathedrals, the different popes, and I don't know nothing about it. That is not my area whatsoever. Kind of goes over my head. But I'm just looking at things to do, taking a bit of culture, waste some time. I don't just keep laying on the beach all the time. You've got to try new things. The only story I know properly around here is this guy behind me. No, not that guy. My G, or as people call him, Son of God, Jesus. Has he got his hands out? Has he got his hands greeting me? Yeah, there he is. Yeah, you can see him. That's the only guy I know. Oh, that's a bit of a zoom, isn't it? All these different popes and missionaries. I only learned about that word today. All these different things. I don't know anything about them, but Jesus, yeah, I know about him. I do think though that coming to these places, if you believe in a religion or if you're a complete atheist and just believe in yourself, I think you just got to appreciate the architecture of how these buildings were built back in the day, and just the minute detail and pure just awe of what goes into the craftsmanship. I always like looking at buildings and the way that it's been built, or just the detail and how long it would have taken. Like you don't really see that nowadays. Like we don't build churches that I know of back in the olden days to now. It's a lot more quicker. Always really amazes me coming to churches and just looking at the roof. The roof takes ages, and then all the little gold pieces and little bits and art, and it's cool. Hello and welcome to day 12 now, I believe. I've got a confession, I haven't actually been doing much filming out here. It's a lot different travelling on your own to being on with a tour and doing lots of different activities. Excuse the nakedness going on here. Showing off the tan, obviously. No, it's just really hot. Yeah, been on my own. I haven't really done much, and I haven't been travelling out of Goa. I've been driving to different towns. Like now I'm staying in, I've driven like an hour away into the more hippie kind of place. I'm in Anjuna and Arambal, so I've booked a couple of hostels, left my stuff at the hotel, driven up here and booked a couple of hostels just because I want to try and hang around with more like-minded people, tourists as well, and young people. Getting a bit sick and tired of just being surrounded by, you know, Indians all the time, and just that's not like any offence, just I want to just hang around with people and, you know, tourists, and have like actual conversations in English instead of talking to people who are Indian and obviously not know much English. Different vibe up here, a bit more hippie-ish, but I actually met up with someone finally. They were pretty cool to hang out with, went to the beach and that, and I think that they're going to be going, they're going to be at the next hostel that I'm going to be going to in Anjuna, so that'd be quite fun to yeah, hang out with people finally, because I haven't really had any conversations with anyone. You know, talking to them today, it's been a bit weird having an English conversation with a foreigner. It's like I'm like a Buddha and haven't, you know, got my voice back and being able to talk to people. Yeah, it's been really weird. It's been nice at the same time having my own company. I kind of want the best of both worlds. I want to have time on my own, but also to just hang out with people and socialise. So yeah, I haven't really been doing a lot to make a lot of content really. A bit of beach here and there, may drive to like some random temples. There hasn't really been much exciting content to film. I don't really want to film something for the sake of filming something and go, oh yeah, this is nice, I've got to make some content. Like, it's not entertaining enough. I'm kind of running out of things to do, to be honest. I'm just kind of like just looking at Google Maps and going, oh, does that look alright? Yeah, alright, let's just drive there and just see if it's worthwhile. I kind of miss being with people because, you know, I'm completely on my own and having to think up all these ideas of where to go and what to do. So it would be nice to have someone else and go, oh, you know what, I want to go here, and go, yeah, all right, I'll follow you. But yeah, anyway, I think I'm going to end this now because I'm just rambling on a lot. So I will That wasn't a fart, that was my shoe against the sofa. I'll tell you where I am. I've taken an Instagram photo actually. Nice little shot in this kind of, these really cool sunbed tent-esque vibe things. They look quite chic. Yeah, I like them, really, really cool. So these are all the different beds. There's loads of them all next to each other. Obviously out here, I'm guessing lots of parties would happen in the peak season. That's my hostel, and there's a swimming pool literally just over there. But if you're ever thinking of doing hostels in Goa, I'm staying in Morjim, which is not too far from Arambo and just above Ajuna. Just completely like the hippie area where all the lots of like hippie tourists all come to. So if you're thinking of coming here, this hostel is called Woke, W-O-K-E, Woke at Morjim. It's like £4 or £5 a night. It's like a hotel but at hostel prices. It's really cool. Anyway, I'm gonna go, and I will see you whenever I decide to do a vlog again. All right, bye.